Good afternoon. Dylan Grant here, and the title of this video is Don't Judge Me, and it's all about judgment and making judgment calls. So I have my little stone here, ocean jasper, which is supposedly to help you with letting go of, past emotional struggles. So I might be holding on to it for the entire video. I don't know. If I feel like it, I'm going to grab it, and otherwise it's sitting right here next to me. So okay, this has been a roller coaster ride of self-reflection and of everything. I've tried several times to make this video today, and I've been like, oh god damn it, I just got caught up in bullshit and rambling, and it wasn't productive, and it wasn't the direction I wanted to take it in. So this is good. I might delete this too. I don't know. I might delete this too and try again. But at least my outfit's on point. So all right. The title of the video is Don't Judge Me. It's March 12th, 2018, the year of Rail Awakening and stuff. So, or I guess, I don't know what, it's supposed to be a big year. I don't know what exactly is going on. And we're supposed to have a big solar storm this weekend. So, Sunday. All right, so what, I've been kind of getting a lot of these upgrades, and it sucked because I've been like, I didn't know they were upgrades until I watched this video, which I'll discuss in a minute. But then it's just, I've been feeling so exhausted, like I can't get up and get out of bed. I can't function and do anything. I'm eating all the time. I don't know why. And I'm just eating and just like, drinking coffee. Literally, I'm drinking 3 times the amount of coffee I usually drink, and I'm getting nothing done. I mean, I'm drinking 3 times the coffee I usually drink, and then going and doing the dishes and going, oh my god, I'm so tired. All I did was do the dishes. Why am I so fucking tired? But I am, because it's these upgrades, and it's apparently clearing a lot of low vibrational programs and things that are within us. Also, the other thing which I do love that I've done on the other videos is that I point out that the other thing that I've been randomly feeling a lot is like I'm going, you know what I mean? Like it feels like I'm not actually physically moving. There I was, but I mean it's just like you feel like you're being jolted or shook and spinning, and you're like, for just a second I'm like, did I move? And people are like, what are you talking about? No. I'm like, did the room move? They're like, no. I'm like, was there an earthquake? No. Okay. What is it then? Because you feel this for a second. It's like, but yeah, it's the upgrades. Maybe it's those shitty programs being sucked out of you. That'd be awesome. That would be very positive. It's spring, so I guess the springtime allergies are going. So all right. So this video was explaining. I was going, oh, okay, that makes sense. But then, of course, the video severely fucking pissed me off because they're going, well, you can't judge other people. Don't be stuck in that judgment place or in that victim mentality, or that, and the narcissism. And I'm just like, fuck you, because realistically, it brought back a lot of memories, not just from this life, but from other lives and from, I think, probably alternate reality lives and timelines and stuff that I've lived in, where a lot of the same stuff has been going on. And I'm actually going to do in the future a video on the New Age religion and how it basically is MK Ultra, mind control techniques. So, which if you watched the Avatar TV show, The Last Airbender, you'd see that like the Earth Kingdom, which is what representative of ancient China, was doing a lot of things to condition their people into doing what they said and not questioning and to doubt themselves. And I think that's actually what a lot of us have been taught to do. I know myself, I definitely have. Ooh, I'm trying to get a good angle here. I want to look cute. Because then I'll hold your attention long enough for the good message to hit. All right, so hearing this, oh, don't judge and don't be a narcissist and, we're all one. That fucking pissed me the fuck off. It pissed me off so much. And I can tell you, which is probably good, because it gives me now this opportunity to make this video. Because everything we feel, everything we experience is for a reason. So maybe the reason was so that I would share what happened with me, and something positive can come from it. So, all right, growing up in my, family, there was a lot of, I won't say maybe it's like MK Ultra Light or something conditioning, because like if I ever had a need or had a want or was feeling something, it was very much conditioned to be, no, you're selfish. No, that's not real. No, that's just something in your head. Um, and that was very, so I grew up having no self-esteem, thinking I was deformedly ugly, thinking that, and of course, and you can see this, I was thinking I was going to have to bleach my beautiful brown eyes blue, because blue eyes are prettier than brown. Um, Thinking that I had to dye my hair, I've dyed my hair every color, you know, I had to dye it blonde, or had to dye it, you know, black, or had to dye it red, because what my own natural hair was so unattractive. I was so unattractive, even though I'm actually, this is my natural hair, and it does actually have it does have blonde and some darker brown and some auburn and some red in it. It has multiple tones, so it's actually very cute hair. I don't know what, which I don't think it was always like that. I think it actually, as I started learning to love myself more, my own natural body kind of responded more. Or maybe it always was and I just never noticed it. I don't know. Session Jasper, I think, is really helping because I'm far less rambly than my other attempts at the videos. 4 of them, I think? Yeah. All right. And I think it is hard to even talk about this stuff because with all these upgrades and this stuff being taken out, it's kind of fresh. And I thought it was going insane because I'm going, oh, I'm so depressed, I'm so upset, I haven't felt like this for years and it's more intense. Yes, because it's getting the fuck out of my body. It's being taken, they're being removed from my subconscious, which is really good. But it's also kind of horrifying that you have to go through it. But yeah, and so I guess as far as that, we're getting off topic again. I have notes. I keep looking at them because I do have notes, because they're meant to kind of channel the river of Dylan's thoughts into something useful and able to be followed, able to be understood, not like rambling. So, okay. So as far as the way I grew up, it's like with my family, it was very much oriented to, no, you don't know what you think, you don't know what you feel, you don't feel anything right. In fact, I'll be honest with what my mom would do, because my dad committed suicide 3 days after my 5th birthday. I remember walking in and seeing it, but my mom says that never happened, and my aunt says that never happened. But I'm just like, but then why do I remember it? I don't know if they're lying or if it was an alternate reality or what is going on, but I'm like, I remember going in and seeing it. And it's weird because I know that when I said that to my aunt in LA and I described how the body was on laying against the shower, she got this horrified look, and then she goes, no, you're wrong. And I'm going, But it was like this wide-eyed look of horror, because from the story that I was always told, it was her that found the body. So it was like, I don't actually know, but I know that I've had this image and whatever. And then when I told my aunt that, she got that look of horror and then immediately knocked me down, not physically, but she's like, no, that's not what happened. I'm going, maybe it did in an alternate reality. Maybe, I don't know. I honestly don't. But when you're 5, the memories don't always make sense necessarily. But the thing is that after that happened, I went to, of course my mom did what any master's degree person would do. She took me to a bunch of shrinks. But as a person herself that had been whatever, she went in and told the shrinks exactly what his problems are this, and his problems, I never got a word in edgewise. I would just sit and play with the toys in the child psychologist's office and not ever actually talk to them because I wasn't allowed to talk. It was, I was allowed to say, yes, Mom, when she would say, isn't that right? Oh, yes, Mom. I don't fucking know, you know what I mean? So it's like I wasn't allowed to have my own thoughts. I wasn't allowed to, because it was like that wasn't what good Catholic children were supposed to do. It was like I was told what I felt and whatever, and I was like, okay, I don't do that anymore, and I refuse to do that. So that, for a long time, I grew up, like I said, with no self-esteem, thinking that I needed to be validated by other people, that I needed to allow other people to tell me what to think and feel and do and be, and I don't even know. And that kind of, and because of that, when I got out of my own at 19, I met somebody that first I thought he was a friend, and then it turns out he was just using me and saw me as an opportunity. And he got me to move out of, to distance myself from my aunt, not talk to her, convince me that she was trying to kill me, which she wasn't. Not even close. But you believe shit at 19 when you've been through. And you've been programmed to accept what people say. You've been programmed to, oh no, I don't really know it. And they said this, so it must be true. I was fucking programmed to believe that shit. And now, I'm not like that at all. In fact, after receiving the Holy Spirit, it's like I'm very, I see things for kind of what they are. And it's like, and it was weird because as a child, I even always used to have my third eye open. I mean, I was like a crystal or indigo or rainbow, whatever they call children. Actually, they think I might have even been a rainbow child, even though I was kind of predating a lot of rainbow children because I was super, super advanced. But then I was subjected to a lot of trauma, and that kind of like retarded my brain and my brain development. But, or maybe just, slowed it down, something. So, but what happened is I wasn't allowed to think my own thoughts, and that's another thing that's like, and you're playing the victim. I don't think I'm playing the victim because I'm trying to explain what was going on, and it took me years to actually figure out what I did think, because because what my ex and my mom and the rest of my family would do is every time I would bring voice my own feelings. No, you're being selfish. No, you're being crazy. No, you're being influenced by someone else. Really? Okay. Maybe I was being negative, but I realize now it's the place that they were, and that's kind of how this matrix has gone for a long time. It's all about controlling a person and getting them to believe the lies. And realistically, it's about killing the soul that's in a person so that they're just a zombie. That's a yes ma'am, no ma'am, whatever zombie. And I think that's actually, we're really not going to go into that till the end of the video, but that's, I think, what a lot of family, it's all about the family. That's what a lot of these family values are. It's about, because traditionally a lot of families have been or matriarchal, and, everyone kind of follows this whatever person. And I'm kind of like, so I'm very anti-family in that sense, because I saw how bad it could go in Orion when the family is crazy as fuck, the ruling families. Especially when you might have been part of them. I'm still trying to figure it out because it's like there's a lot of things as these previous incarnations are bridging into me that I'm trying to understand. I'm going, okay. But again, it's like it's the same problems, and you see the same thing about powerful families here. It's all about, it's always a power struggle, and whoever's the head of the family is trying to get everyone else to follow what they think is correct. And is it correct? Is it? I don't know. But I think that there's good and bad. But unfortunately, I grew up in a very abusive family, and they used, a lot of conditioning to make me not believe any of my own thoughts were valid or my own opinions. So I definitely had to struggle with that. And so because of that, it really triggers me when I hear this. Well, no, you're just playing the victim. You're just a narcissist. I'm like, fuck you. Fuck you. I'm not a narcissist. It's okay to have my own thoughts and feelings. But I've also had to learn that there is a difference because, and I've had to learn, it took me until I was like 30 years old to which is when I received the Holy Spirit. And I was reading the Bible and I honestly saw this thing descend on me and I was like, I've taken shrooms and not seen the kind of visions that I had after starting to get my spirit in check. So I'm like, whoa, this is awesome. But it also kind of sucks because you realize that we live in a demonic matrix full of horrifying creatures that will, manipulate and do all kinds of, let's pull this out, there we go. They'll kind of be very manipulative and have no qualms about whatever they do. So, and there actually are demons walking the earth in human bodies. I actually see them. It's kind of disturbing. Now, and so that brings me to the question is, what do they mean? Can I get clarity on what is judging someone as opposed to calling a spade a spade? Because when you wake up from the matrix and you wake up from this conditioning, from this matrix conditioning, from accepting this matrix conditioning, in my case, from accepting, letting my family or my exes or the media or whatever tell me what reality was. When I started looking, saying, no, I understand things. I understand what this is. I know what it looks like. I know what it feels like. I know what it makes me feel like inside. And so I have to say, I don't really think that I'm wrong about this. When I say that we're kind of in this, is that judging? I don't know. Is being woke judging? Because I can tell you that there are, and I think that's kind of the question. Ooh, didn't know I had a rip in these jeans. That's cool. They're new. But yeah, the thing is, okay. So is it a judgment? Because I think you have to make judgment calls. Absolutely have to make judgment calls. But I don't think that a judgment call is the same as being, judgmental, or maybe condemning, or I don't even know. Because, okay, now when I was first homeless, this is before I met my sister in light. I'm biologically I'm an only child, but it's like my sister in light, who's part of my soul family, and has been there for me. I mean, she's been there on holidays and on birthdays and on other times, and she would call me up and say, "Are you okay? I haven't heard from you in a couple days. I worry about you." So, and invited me with her and her daughter. We had, so she actually has been real family to me. And she is my family. She is part of my real family. But she also did something that my real family never did, which is she told me what I needed to hear instead of what I wanted to hear, or what benefited me to hear, what benefited them to hear, for me to hear. Okay. She would be like, sometimes I would say things, she goes, "No, you're fucking full of shit," or "No, you know what I mean? That's completely, like, where are you getting this from? Okay, I get that you feel this way, or I get that, you're upset about this, but look at it from this angle." She wasn't saying, "No, you're wrong, and you have to," she was saying, "I think that you need to look at it from other angles." And that's very true. And that's another thing that, like, I learned from my mom and the rest of my family, is that because they're very judgmental, and sometimes their judgments are right, and sometimes they're wrong. Like, I'll never forget one time my aunt walked into my room when I was living at her house. And that was kind of bad because I couldn't get my shit together living in. Los Angeles is not a nice city to live in. Not for everybody. Maybe for some people, but for me it was not a good city. It's not the second. Well, I neither really time I lived there. But anyway. But the thing is, she came in my room to ask me a question, and she goes, "You look like a hoe, you need to change." Now, she was absolutely right. But still, it was like, so it's like, so like I said, that was a judgment call, because I really did look like a hoe, and she really did have a point. Especially considering that we were actually going to go to meet some friends of hers or something for dinner, and it was like, these are master's degree people, and you really don't go there and, when you're trying to look like, ripped jeans and like a belt that says "fuck you." You don't go to those kind of events. Like, I mean, I would now, but not with her, because it would be bad for her. It would be like, okay. But the thing is, so as far as that stuff, or like I said, so I would have a lot of, and my mom would always talk about other people, and you'd hear, as an only child who did not have a lot of friends, because most other kids were stupider than me, and we're always just we're on a different level. I mean, I might have been, it's like I was in the world or not of the world. It's like, oh yeah, I went to school with them. I, went to class with them, but it's like we didn't have anything in common, and I understood that from a very early on age. For one thing, I was having adult responsibilities, and I wasn't into all the video games and stuff that a lot of people in my generation were. I was never into that. I was more into reading books and doing art and, playing outside and like trying to, do things myself. Finding sticks that were probably only like this big and trying to build teepees in the park, and people were just, even though I didn't have a blanket or anything, I thought it'd be a good idea. I was one of those kids, but so I never got along with a lot of people that wanted to play their little games and things, or like do the competitive sports. I was just like, oh no. So okay, yes, I was practicing building worlds very early. Building civilizations early. Started with in my own mind, and later it will become that I'm building worlds and continents. But so I guess, okay, so when So okay, so like I said, a lot of really off topic now. That was extremely off topic, and hopefully it was not throwing people off. But all right, so I started kind of at 30. I would sometimes look at some of the other people in the shelter, and I would judge them harshly, and I would condemn them for their actions, because I would start going, "What the fuck? This bitch can't even take a shower." Because sometimes, honestly, people would just they were in that mentality, and I was struggling and had PTSD and stuff before I got disability, and actually appropriate psychological, appropriate psych care, because it was just like it was just horrible. And but I would sit and be like, well, this person should take a shower, and they just go sit around begging for spare change for beer and cigarettes. And my sister was like, you don't really need to be judging people like that. And it wasn't that she was condemning me necessarily. She was getting me to self-check. She was getting me to check myself and be like, yeah, why am I doing that? The fuck, right? Like, why am I wasting my time and my energy on condemning and judging and whatever other people when there really isn't a reason for me to do that. It was a waste of my own energy. And instead, I could be working on improving myself. So I think that's, now granted, was it calling a spade a spade? Yeah, because honestly, why the fuck were they not showering? You know what I'm saying? Why were they not showering? But the thing is, it's not my place. It's what, or I guess maybe it's not productive. It's not what I need to do. It wasn't what I need to do, and now it's not. And honestly, I've kind of gotten to a greater place now of understanding that. So, okay. But, and again, that was because, I was so used to my family judging me and talking shit about me and to me and telling me, well, you're not doing this and you're not doing that, that I was looking for a vent. You know what I'm saying? Instead of, because I felt powerless to solve my own problems. I felt powerless to make the changes necessary. And half the time I would do the things my family told me and it wouldn't work. And it's like, it wouldn't work for me. Why? Then you're a piece of shit because it doesn't work. I'd hear that a lot. Or you're not trying. And it's like, so it's like, or I would visit, or I'd go to some of these places in San Antonio or Austin or wherever. And they say, oh, you're struggling with this? We'll go to this place. They go, oh, okay, well, let's get all your paperwork. Let's get your ID and everything else. And then a little while, and you get your hopes of like, oh my gosh, my problems will finally get solved. They'll help me work on this, or maybe get housing or whatever. Oh no, you don't qualify. So it's like you do the things that you're told that are supposed to help you and whatever, and they don't work, and you just feel defeated. And so I think that I maybe on that level I was judgmentally lashing out at other people because I was whatever. But it's like, so like I said, my sister did get me to self-check, and I started going, huh. So instead of acting impulsively and doing that, I started going, well, what am I feeling right now? And so I guess maybe that's the judgment they're talking about that you shouldn't do, which I totally agree with. But as far as this video, which really pissed me off, was going, well, stop with the victim mentality and stop with the victim mentality and stop with you're being a narcissist. I'm going, thing is, a spade is still a fucking spade. Half of these systems and stuff, there are a lot of people that abuse these systems. And these systems, there's a lot of favoritism. I can tell you this. A lot of these, Southern white culture males make, I'm not going to get help from them. That are ones deciding if you can be approved for this or that. I'm not going to get help from them being a gay man. I'm just not. You know what I'm saying? I can tell you that here in San Antonio, a lot of these Hispanic people, Hispanic help Hispanic. They fucking hate black, and they hate light-skinned people that they deem as white because they're the oppressor. I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm mixed. Thank you for asking. But again, people have their own presuppositions. And that is calling a spade a spade. It's like I've watched people say some things. That's why I don't hang with a lot of people either, because I can't deal with the fakery. And I can't pretend that I'm not bothered by things that people say. Like I've had people, I've looked at pictures of magazines, like fashion magazines, and I know how to rock it. I like being all stylish. And the thing is, I've had people here in the South, in San Antonio and in Austin and other places, going, I'm like, oh, isn't this model beautiful? And this model happens to be black. I'll look at black, Latin, white. I don't even care. If it's a beautiful woman or a beautiful man and beautiful clothing and good styling, it's just good styling and good art. I don't care what their race is. I don't. I never have. It's like, there's just, this is a good dress or not a cute dress. It's good, looks good with their skin tone or not. That's really the only relevance there is to me. But I'll be like, oh, isn't this pretty? And they'll be like, well, I guess she's pretty for a black girl. Fuck? The fuck does that mean? I guess she's pretty for, what the fuck? I've never, ever experienced that in in like Northern California, Southern a little bit, yeah. But again, people from Los Angeles are not from California. They didn't grow up in California. A lot of the people there are just like, they moved there from somewhere else and they brought their racism with them. So it's like, for me, that's always a shock when I hear that kind of stuff, because I'm like, what? What is it? Because it's not my world. That's not the world, and that's not the frequency that I come from, where that's acceptable. That also wasn't how I was brought up. I mean, like, my aunt's married to a Moroccan. You know what I'm saying? Like, we had friends of every skin. It's just, it's normal in San Francisco that you just, you hang with people based on their personality, not, superficial stuff. But I guess it's not other places. So when I hear that stuff, I'm like, this bitch is a fucking racist. But now hearing this video, it almost takes me back to the stuff my family taught me, but not exactly the same. Where I start going, oh my God, am I a racist? Or oh my God, am I? Because they say things. I've also heard other videos and things which I get pissed at. But they're like, well, anything that you think about other people that's negative is actually your own feelings being projected. I'm like, no, they're actually not. No, I'm not actually. I'm not a racist person against people. I'm projecting it into them when I watch them do it. And I'm like, the fuck, and I call them on it. That's not me being a racist. That's not me being it and I'm projecting it out. No. Now, when my family was sitting there putting a bunch of shit in my head and saying, no, that's your feelings, that whatever, they probably were putting their own shit in my head. But it's like, you have to recognize the difference. Self-check, yes. But, blaming yourself and automatically thinking that your own thoughts or feelings are not valid is the opposite of what you should be doing. It's the opposite of what I need to be doing. It's the opposite of it. So when they, so it's like, stay woke, stay, confident in your own decisions, in your own discernment. The other one I put down, oh, I'm following my notes finally. This really is helping. This Ocean Jasper is really helping. Put it by the camera. Wait, where's the camera? See, this actually does help. It took me 4 times, but hey. All right. Said generalities have to stop. Like, well, don't be judging people. You know what? Don't be quick to judge people. But don't be judging people. Yes, I can fucking interpret that. Because when you hear somebody say don't judge people, it's like, well, if you're a highly thinking person, you're going to read probably further than you need to into that statement. I sure did. Or if you come from a similar background that I did, you're going to be like, am I doing that? Oh my God. Well, you know what I mean? Because I was taught that no matter what I think or feel was not valid unless it was what my family said. So I had to learn not to do that at all. Because otherwise I was just going to go completely insane, and that's not what I needed to do. So, so I think I had to do that. And I don't know, I just keep moving around. I'm moving around trying to make things make sense. Movement. So yeah, the generalities have to stop. And I think that's maybe another thing they mean about don't be judgmental, because I see a lot of people that are like, well, all insert group here, gay people, black people, Hispanics, whites, Muslims. God, who else do I hear have shit about? I don't even know, because I stopped listening to them. But it's like the things that I have heard that I start rejecting people for. Those are generalities, and they have to stop. First of all, one thing that I've said many times, I went to Morocco last year. I'm going again this year to see my family, because my aunt married a Moroccan, and I was welcome. Her and I were welcome into the family. My aunt and I, by the way, are the only. I'm her only living relative. So we're actually, we're the last remaining Grants. The rest of us were killed off because we were too dangerous. But no, the thing is, so it's like, oh yeah, they don't care. They're cool. So it's like when I hear some people going, oh, Muslim, I'm like, bitch, do you know any Muslims? Have you ever been to a Muslim country? No? Then shut the fuck up. That's my judgment call. But does not mean I'm being judgmental. Other people are judging people based on, I guess, algorithms or generalities, and I think that that's a problem. That is something we need to stop. So, I said, does not judging mean to not be woke? Because I do see people, like I actually see them, you know what I mean, and make judgment calls. Is that judging? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know. So that's, I guess, part of the problem is that we have to self-check, but we also have to make sure that we don't psych ourselves out, so to speak. Yeah, because I think that's one of the things that this, conditioning of us has done is make us start going, oh, maybe my opinions aren't right. Maybe maybe it's really my own. No, you know what? Sometimes it might be, and you have to be willing to look at yourself and be introspective, and then decide if it's your own feelings that you're projecting out because you're looking for a vent. Guess what? You have to stop, and you have to whatever. But if not, if maybe you are correct, I can say, So I guess this is good. Okay, I said, and one thing that did really piss people off is when I commented on this video and I said, listen, I'm raising my consciousness and ascending and everything for one main reason alone, and that's separation from the lowercase humans in their world. It's like people are like, oh no, you'll raise your consciousness, and then you won't mind being around. I'm like, yes, I'll always mind being around racist people. I'll always mind being around these people that tell me, well, no matter what, the problems in your life are because you're a faggot and God hates you. I've actually been told that. I've absolutely been told that on the street. One time at Burger King, when I stopped there in not even 10 years ago, 12 years ago, something like that, with a friend because we were driving through South Dakota. No, it's like 10 years ago. We're driving to Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Oh, these allergies are killing me. And we stopped at this little town, Beresford or something. Stopped to get Burger King, we're going to grab lunch. And so somebody asked, because her and I were ordering food together, and they were going, are you two dating? And we just like go, oh no. And she goes, oh no, we're just, I said, yeah, and I date guys. So she goes, well, you're going to get AIDS and die. It's like, the fuck? And, so when you grow up being a gay person, you get used to hearing this stuff normally and you're conditioned that you have to accept it because you're less than, because you're this thing. So that's what I'm saying. When they sit and go, so understand this, my own ascension and my own whatever is for one main reason alone, to get the fuck away from these people. Because do I cut people out of my life? Oh, absolutely. Do I, whatever, sure. But the thing is, there actually is a dimensional separation coming, and it's necessary. Because unless these people are killed off, you're going to have to deal with that every day because they don't want it. They don't want to wake up and realize that they're really fucked up, to think these things. This election with Trump, everyone's like, oh, Trump is so evil. I don't think he gives a fuck about Latin people. I don't think he gives a fuck about all this stuff. I honestly think he just will say whatever he wants to get elected. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, how sad is it that he got elected purely on having a racist and very, telling these racist, horrible people what they wanted to hear. How sad is it that he got elected purely on that? Because, like I said, that is why I'm like, listen, there will be a separation. We have to. And no, I've already been shown it's going to happen. So, that pisses people off because everyone's, bad as it sounds, because again, do not let whatever you think, because it's like, I am mixed. I have Spanish and Native and Italian and everything else, and Irish, and, then some Danish and Czech and Scottish in my family. So it's like, but, make no mistake, I am mixed, and I grew up very California culture, not American white culture. So it's like, so when I hear these people that are predominantly white people, I can say they're white culture. It's a culture. It's not a race. I do not mean Caucasian. I do not mean European. I mean it is a culture in America that they think that they're better than other people because of their skin color. But by the way, just so you know, if you're a gay person, you're not part of the club. You never are going to be. So the thing with it, I said this is the false pretense of oneness and family, and why I think that that's so bad is that they're going, oh no, there's not going to be a separate. We all have to come together. People are not. They don't want to. They don't want to, and you have to respect their choice. So when I hear well, don't judge people, and, oh no, you're being a narcissist. Bitch, I'm not a narcissist. I mean, I love myself, but I love myself on a soul level, not so much, whatever. And it's like the fact that I understand that there are a lot of people that are racist and that are bullshit, and they're not going to change because they don't want to. It's not that I'm a bad person. It's not that they're right. It's that they're choosing to view reality in the way that they're choosing to. And that's just, we're not going to change that. So, so when I hear all this, oh, we have to be oneness, it reminds me of my mom's family and all them going, well, no, this is what is good for the family. What's good for the family was not good for me. What's good for, whatever family you're part of may not be good for you. Whatever, is good for the collective because honestly, the collective wants what the collective wants, and it may not value you as an individual person. So you have to decide what collective you're going to be part of. Are you going to be part of the current mass collective of the human race? My new tattoo looks kind of cool, huh? It's the tree of life. I don't know if you can see it. I don't feel like putting it up any further. And I'm not going to keep this video really long. So it's like, what's good for no, it doesn't mean stuff your feelings down and just be, subserviently part of something else. And that's one of the programs and the conditionings that I've struggled against. So the last thing, recognizing harmful people is not judging or playing the victim, saying, I don't like the way you talk to me. I don't like the way you treat me. I don't like the fact that in this job that I'm not getting paid anything. I don't like the fact that I bring problems to you and you dismiss them. That's not playing the victim. That's giving somebody an opportunity to deserve you in their life, to be the person that you need, and if not, walk away. And that's not a judge. That's not, you're judging them. You're playing the victim. You're a narcissist. No, it's not. It's you're taking care of yourself. You have to, because you are, a temple of divine love and light and joy and consciousness. You are a temple to multiversal source consciousness. So to accept abusiveness, and to say, no, I'm wrong. If you fail, no, this is not a good situation to be in. Follow it. But I mean, also question yourself, like, is this something that's going on inside of me, or is it, is it something, some feeling that I'm having that I'm projecting out? Is this person really being whatever? Learn how to be objective within yourself and push forward. And so that's it, I guess. I mean, that's, so it's like, follow your heart. And that's, so like I said, yeah. And I'm definitely going to be doing not next, because next I'm going to go. I'm going to decide if I want to make another video tonight, because I'm kind of on a roll. I'm going to change my outfit, though. But yeah, so decide kind of what, you want out of, decide what you'll accept and what you won't accept, and stick to it. But if you have but like I said, the whole idea of everyone going, oh no, we all have to be one, then you know what? Then the collective better treat me as the person that I need to be. It's not like they're going to pay themselves 5 times more than they pay me. I know people that make 2 or 3 times the amount of money go, do you have $1? Do you have this? Oh, I need you to, can you take me out to eat? Fuck no, bitch. I can't. I make $700 a month in disability. Out of that $700, I need to pay rent and food and everything else. You make $1,800 to $2,000 to whatever. I know somebody that makes $1,800 a month in disability, and they're always asking me for money. I'm going, no! The fuck? You make twice as much, actually more than twice as much what I do, but you ask me for money. Bad management. Fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Bad management. But it's like, you're being, and then I'm just waiting for it. I swear to God, if they were New Age people, it would be like, you're judging me. You're playing a narcissist. Oh, Jesus. Because you know what I'm saying? It's like when you grow up being because I was a very lovely child. I was a very loving child. So I had to learn to not be taken advantage of. It's like, this is so awesome. It's like the tone of my video has completely changed. I tried to make it 4 times, and then I got to this, and once I got to like this 20-minute mark, I'm just like, whoa! I don't even know. Because maybe it's like I had, whoa. Sorry, I kicked the thing that the laptop's on. That little shake. But that's what it feels like lately. Okay. Maybe this means that this energy during this video was pulled out of me because I'm voicing it, and so it's lovely. So all right. So that's kind of what it is that when you hear the don't be judgmental, don't be the victim, don't be a narcissist, don't, I can say don't fall into that as a trap, but also don't be afraid to follow your truth, but also be willing to explore your truth. Be willing to explore and look inside yourself to find what is true and what is false. Because there's a million people that will tell you, I'm living proof. There's a million people that will sit and tell you, no, no, you don't really feel that way. No, that's all in your head. Because you know what I mean? Because it benefits to have you in that place where you doubt yourself. So be fearless, be doubtless, be dauntless, and woo, um, be yourself. And ask Source, ask God for truth, the light, whatever. Because honestly, God has reminded me many times. Which is another reason I'm so happy that I'm shifting out of here, because God has reminded me many times. Because again, as an empathic person, you go, oh, no, they're hurting so much, and they really do, because you sense they really do believe what they're saying, and you think, well, maybe no, they're fucking not right. They're seeing it from their perspective, and it's like, so sometimes I'm like, well, and then it's like I'll be like, really, and I'll be like, huh, yeah, no, maybe not. So because I was conditioned to be a people pleaser and make everyone like me, and now I'm just like, fuck it, I don't care if you like me, fuck you. It's I love myself, and I respect myself enough to be willing to do the things that I need to do for myself, regardless if it alienates me from the oneness of the collective. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, no. And I've met a lot of these people that are like that. So, love everyone, but also recognize them for who and what they are, and for who and acknowledge them for what they're willing. Acknowledge what they're willing to do. You know what I'm saying? If you see a person and and you understand that they're really willing to do horrible, terrible things to you, to get ahead, and they don't even care about your feelings. No, they tell you, "Oh no, baby, I love you, but I treat you badly." You're like, "Fuck no, you don't love me. You just need me, but you don't love me." So, so it's okay to have your own thoughts. Thank you so much for listening and watching, and I hope this helped. And run out and get some of this ocean jasper, because it does fucking work. Like, it really does. I'm not even gonna lie, crystals do work. So thank you, and we'll continue more. This is Dylan Grant Scion, and we are good for the day.